let's speak about Man United off the back of that Champions League. I saw a stat, and this is why I think that Atletico Madrid are masters of,
Atletico Madrid or Diego Simeone.
No, Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
And Diego Simeone. We've spoken about this on the show before. That a manager's biggest, in my opinion at least, manager's biggest asset is his ability to communicate his beliefs to the players.
And they buy it completely.
Yeah.
I think Diego Simeone has gone through 2 generations of Atletico players. 2 generations. Right? What they're doing now is the same thing I saw them doing 8 years ago
I'm thinking it's 3.
When he took over. 3 is a stretch. 3 is a stretch, to be fair. Right? I saw a stat. In the last 30 minutes of the game, the ball was in play for only 11 minutes. And if that doesn't make you hold on a sec, in 30 minutes.
What is going on?
Because I didn't watch the game. Because remind you, again, I don't call my hand.
I'm 100% sure you're lying.
I was in one place, just very here in VI, enjoying EDM music. Because that clock cannot kill me. But when I finished, and one of the things I enjoyed the most is I watch manager's press conference. What it does for me is, just helps you understand how to face the media. So Ragnick said he doesn't remember in the second half the game going on for 2 minutes consecutively without someone being on the floor.
Yeah.
And I thought, is that something that the referees need to actually take into account when officiating Atletico games? Or is that just part of the game?
So, it was the 70th minute. I was with my brother, and then we saw a start.
Shout out to your
passes
brother.
completed. 70th minute. Atletico 68 passes. 1 pass per minute. one pass per minute. Less than 1 pass in a minute.
Wow.
And then you look at what is opposing Manchester United, just over 100. So it's not. So that brings up the point of, okay, how long was the ball actually in play? Because Manchester United dominated possession, but how much possession are you dominating? When a lot of the time somebody's on the floor crying or the ball is out for a throw-in. How many throw-ins were in the game? I hope they can't start counting throw-ins.
So what they
goal kicks and stuff like that. All this kind of stuff.
What they basically do is
they kill the game.
You are in your training ground all week, all month, planning for a football game, and they are planning for a rugby session. You get?
You said you're planning for?
They're planning for a rugby or UFC. Because that's what it is. And I think that is an amazing fact. I saw a stat on Wolves. No, not Southampton. And in 70 minutes, somebody's always on the ground. I don't know if you saw that stat as well. In the 70 minutes of games, they take a pause. Somebody's like, he have a concussion for like 4 minutes. And they take it to take a breather. Because Southampton, I don't know any team in the Premier League that plays at the intensity that Southampton plays. Right? Brighton, can we go give Brighton mind?
Nah, Brighton
is a serious team. They pass the ball up and down. But what that made me think, is that something that you now have to checkmate and agree and say, if a football game is 90 minutes, right? And I think that you have to employ every tool you need to win a football game. But a football game is 90 minutes. And we actually see the game go on for just 11 minutes in play. We have to stop and say, that's worth taking note of. And trying to address that problem.
See,
I don't think so. Why is it a problem?
No, wait. For me, I always think that the best managers go into a game knowing I have to destabilize his game plan.
Yeah.
That's what the best managers do. Because if you go into a game plan, Simeone comes into the game plan. I saw the lineup, I was on radio when the lineup came on, and I said, he's packing the bus. I saw it completely. He wants to stifle the game. Because he knows that I've got Griezmann up front, I've got João Felix up front. If I hit them on the counter and get a goal, I can stifle this game. He's packing the bus, and he's going to frustrate you for 90 minutes. What you want to do is make him change his plan. Because if United scored, all of a sudden, we need to score.
Yeah.
That's what the
That was exactly what happened to Juventus.
That's what the best managers do.
We'll speak to Juventus about
That's what the best managers do. They destabilize the team. It's just like the Arsenal game yesterday. Arsenal were hoping that they can score. They were hoping that if we score, that's why every time they broke, Every time they broke, they committed numbers forwards, hoping.
Let's just get a goal.
If they can get a goal, we know it's a different game because if Arsenal scores, I think they beat Liverpool. Because
I don't think so. But
I think Liverpool get frustrated and come out and we hit them on the counter. I think so, but. United on match day, United on the day, because when you say we have to take note to, because in the end the narrative has always been, you're playing anti-football.
I know
That's not what you're doing, but that's what people are saying. He's not playing football. He's playing something different that is quite alien to football.
So is it that the team have to now raise their level? Because if you're going to Mushin or you're going to Bariga, I don't expect that you should.
Do you think that Pep sitting on after the game would have talked about this stat about the ball being in play for 11 minutes?
No, it wasn't even running that ball at the start.
No. Do you think it would even bother him?
No, Pep will say it for sure.
No, I don't think it will bother him.
I think
it will bother him.
Pep will say it now.
I don't think it will bother him.
No, he won't bother him because his team still would have won.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If he wins,
that's the point. The point is he will
the
beat
toughest game of
you.
his life.
Yeah, but for me, right? My own is, why is it a problem?
It's not a problem.
They decided this is our best chance of winning. Went that route, and
they won.
If you are preparing for a game of football at that level, you have to expect anything. Because expect that your opposition are going to do everything and anything that is within the rules. And that's what they did, right? We're going to destabilize them. We're not going to allow them. Ultimately, Atletico got a goal. In everything that we're talking about, they scored. And if United were going to do anything in that game, it was 1-1 in the first leg.
I didn't think United looked like scoring, to be
honest.
honest.
If you are going to do anything in that game, you needed to score. But so for me, it's like, I've always believed you come into a game competitively at that level, you do anything you can to win.
I just think that in the end, if a football game is 90 minutes, we should have at least 80 minutes at least. That's what I honestly believe. I believe that if I pay to see a football game, and this is not me being idealistic, because I hate idealistic.
No, but that's where you're going.
No. I believe that if the game is out of play for 29 minutes.
So how do you fix that?
Right? That's a problem.
Let's say we identify it as a problem. How do you fix it?
You pause the clock.
So what does the referee...
NBA.
No, you're spot on.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because...
You're laughing, but you're spot on. I think that the contract is 90 minutes. We have to play 90 minutes.
No, the contract is the game goes on for 90 minutes.
Not the ball
we
in play.
have to play the ball for 90 minutes.
Because it's even impossible to play the ball for 90 minutes.
Do you understand? That's
because
the game.
People go down.
Guess what? The injuries, they're all parts of the game. Maybe they're faking it. Can you get the Barcelona 2009 under Pep Guardiola?
Disgraceful.
Did you guys see there was a clip that came out of them?
I really don't like to talk about that.
There was a clip that came out of them in training where they actually learn how to fake these injuries and jump and fly.
The Spanish
they
team
actually
do that.
learned on the training. It was a thing.
It was viral.
I think it's something the Spanish teams do.
As
it's
good
not
as that
Atletico
team
alone,
was,
because I've seen Sevilla do it. I've seen a lot of these teams. They do when they want to frustrate you. Players start going down very easily. They are rolling on the floor. The idea is not to delay the time, because of course the referee pauses the time.
No, it doesn't.
They don't.
No.
But at least they bring it back. They don't.
No, if it's an elongated whatever, usually they pause or they do it back.
If it's a concussion,
it's the normal injuries where you go down, it's part of the game.
What they do is that it's very strategic. They see that probably you're having a bit of spell in the game.
Disrupt your flow.
So they shut your flow. They stop your momentum.
Yeah.
That's what they do. You can't stop them. I don't think it's a problem.
It's just part of the
game. You've got to find a way around them. Because I remember a few years ago when the West Ham, Sam Allardyce was coach of West Ham. He went to Stamford Bridge and they kept a clean sheet.
We attacked them.
And Mourinho came out and said, like they say in our country, they came to the stadium and they parked the bus in front of the goal. And when they asked Sam Allardyce, he was
laughing. Crazy about that game. West Ham kicked off and passed the ball to Chelsea.
That's what they did. For 90 minutes, they played me. He said, they asked Sam Allardyce, he was laughing all day. They said, he can't
take it. That's true.
No, and that's actually the origin of the park the bus. The park the bus phrase, right? I just feel like it's a bit odd. But speaking about Man United, for me, and maybe Rufai,
did you think Man United did enough? Forget about the Atletico antics. Did you think United did enough to win the game?
No, I think they had.
Because the talk was Ronaldo scored a hat-trick over the weekend. I was on radio on Tuesday. I said, it's not going to have a sniff.
No, it's a different game. Come on.
I said it. He's not going to have a sniff.
Bruv.
Because I saw what they did to him in the first leg with 4 at the back, with 5 at the back. He's not going to have a sniff.
Bruv.
They're going to stay with him for 90 minutes, and they're stronger than him physically.
I think that.
And United don't even play. Sorry, Yubi. United don't even play to the strength of Ronaldo, because I think that as a team, when you give Rashford the ball, he's running. Give Elanga running. Ronaldo at the moment, one of his core strengths, his ability to sprint away, to leap from the ground. If you get crosses into the area,
he goes score one shot.
Yeah. If you get good crosses into the area, when you get to the byline, quick crosses, not the one that you are shaping. Dalot will be turning and twisting and doing the. Get the ball to the byline. Boom the ball into the area.
Even from deep, crosses from deep are fine.
Ronaldo will get on the end of one of it. But what I see United do is, and for Rangnick, because you brought Elanga in and he scored, because Atletico were pushing to score a second goal, and then at Old Trafford you now say playing from the start. I saw it, I said bad move. They're playing low block. He's not going to see anywhere to run to. The boy was an absolute flop because he didn't, and it's not the fault of his, because the way the Atletico Madrid team set up, it's just like Walcott. I hated Walcott at Arsenal because if Walcott plays against teams that he just doesn't know what to do with the ball.
I think that I agree that United not enough to score, but this is where I always say that ultimately.
I thought you didn't watch the game.
No, I didn't. I watched the replay. Right. I didn't watch the game, but I saw a couple of highlights.
What about you? They lie. Leave this thing so that heaven can be accessible to you.
I didn't watch the game because in my living room there's no TV. By the way. No TV. All the teams
can we confirm
that
this?
One I can confirm.
All the teams are in the room. But I thought that United didn't do enough to score. But this is where I have to now say that for a manager, you get to a point where you now decide what you want people to see. I am not comfortable with managers that are politically correct for the entirety of their tenure. I think that managers like that are idealistic and hiding. When I watch Rangnick and his team, the way they set up, I think that he depends more on explaining what he expects to see than demanding what he wants to see. I don't think that Rangnick is the fresh player on the team, but I believe that, in the modern game, to win something substantive, you need to demand. And you need to actually ruffle feathers and push people, and be a bit of a in many ways. Pep Guardiola does that
every time.
Klopp is the biggest I've seen in terms of hassling people, right? And bleep that out, Wally. Don't let me curse you.
You can bet that I won't do it.
You get 3.
Wally in the
a guy like Conte, you already know what you get.
If Conte fit, he go to beat the players.
If you don't if you don't do what he asks you to do, he will say this player's mentality is not good. Jose Mourinho, I did not speak about, right? For all Rangnick knows about the game and ideas of playing the game, I find him to rather continue doing the same thing without results. And when I watch United, I see him come after the game and he talks a good game. And what he's saying
after a bad result.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's lost only 3 times since he came, right? But what that stat tells you is that he is lacking. The team doesn't want to go further than he allows them. You need to push people over the edge. So sink or swim. If the building is burning, and we are in the building, right, and we come out to the edge, and there's a place to jump to, and you're looking at the thing, somebody has to push you. I think that's what he lacks. That's what he lacks. For me, if he were a permanent manager, probably he has the incentive to say, you know what, I'm going to be here anyway. but I think he's playing safe, trying to finish the role. But what he's doing is going to cost the club a Champions League spot next season.
Hopefully.
You get. If I were him, if I were United and job he was hired maybe with 20 games to go, I say fire him now. No. I say, you know what? You were brought in to ultimately consult for the club. How about you go upstairs, take a nice office view of Manchester, start doing your job, but let somebody who's ready to go toe-to-toe with the players to do the job.
So if you can't, if you are there as a manager and you are not doing a good job and the thing is not going well, and I'll put you say you go and hire the manager. Which kind of mind? I won't be confident.
A lot of people are actually not confrontational.
No. I'm just joking. That's just by the way. What I wanted to say actually is that why I agree with you with Rangnick is at that level. For me, if you are the kind of person who I'm not confrontational, you are not. Don't be at that level. Go back to being the manager of Hoffenheim and RB Leipzig and Salzburg or whatever. At that level, if you don't want to be confrontational, you're not good. You're talking about big players who are some of the richest people in the world. You get in their faces.
You need to find a way to get something out of them.
If you need to punch the wall and break something, do it to get them going. But having said that, the same way we talk about PSG, and they say this manager, that manager, they have gone there, they've not been able to sort it out. The problem is not the manager. The problem is not the managers. The problem is with the players. But the difference is with PSG, it's obvious that you have quality players, but ego. They want to play for themselves. At Manchester United, they've been different managers, but still they've not been able to sort it out. So can we keep the same energy and say, it's not been the managers?
No, but the players are not good enough.
No.
Let's be honest.
I'm going somewhere. It's not been the managers. It's been the players. But this case, and this is the one I said I dreamt. I've talked about it on this show before. With PSG, there's quality. The problem is ego. At United, I don't think people are actually aware of this enough. Every time they talk about United not doing well, it's always along the line of the team, they're quality players. We just don't know what's going on. We don't know why they've not been able to get it to work. I think you have maybe only 2-3 quality players in that team. They're all shit players.
I totally agree.
They're all shit players.
I agree.
Let's not talk.
What I always say is that if UB can sit in Victoria Island and see that I rather die on the hill of Eric Bailly and Phil Jones
than play this nonsense.
Than play this free slap.
And this thing don't remind me something.
Which one is fridge?
This thing don't remind me something. I saw an article where I'm sure you must have seen this thing.
Hey.
United fans were going at United because their Twitter handle had that jersey thing. I don't know if you saw that thing. So United fans were going after United that they're only concerned about selling jerseys.
And Liverpool's own was on the 5-time winners of Champions League.
On their bio on Twitter is get 35% off. Liverpool 5-time winners of the Champions League. Chelsea champions of Europe. All these other clubs. And
if matter of fact, I think Lokomotiv Moscow or Spartak Moscow, one of the two.
Yeah.
The West, Russia's favorite club.
You get?
Yeah.
Now, as much as that might seem trivial, like no, just, but actually, you can actually easily link it up to how the kind of business they've done over the years. That's why you've gotten these players that have amounted to nothing. These players are not good. These players maybe cannot cut it. Which of these players will you play ahead of what's his name at West Ham? I don't think I'll pick any of those defenders over Kozuma. I'm sorry.
I don't.
Do you understand?
How?
Which of those players
Varane?
Going forward, aside from Cristiano
about
Ronaldo, Edison Cavani,
I
won't pick Varane over Kozuma. I think Varane is very experienced, but right now, I don't think I'll pick him over Kozuma.
With Varane, that player, and this is something that football fans don't talk about enough, right? When people talk about experience in winning teams, when people talk about winning teams, people automatically think that every single member of a winning team
is as good as Sergio Ramos. Or is as good as Ronaldo.
I keep saying that when there's a football team, there's a spine.
Yeah.
Right? There's a spine.
Or 4 or 5 players.
You see this hand, a nerve can go wrong in this arm, and you function as a human being, you function well. If your spine has a problem, my brother, you're in trouble.
Big
right?
one.
You're in trouble. if the spine of the team is faulty or is strong, it is easier because the spine carries the load of the team.
It's easier to
Right? And this is a bit of biology. And this is probably going to go into Yubi's theory, not Hooke's law.
Right? He's going to go what?
Yubi's theory.
IBK.
You get but
Shout out to you, my man.
I miss you, my brother. I celebrate you. You get. But the spine carries the load. I've always felt like Varane, quick defender off the ground, runs well, but needs a bit of direction.
Yeah.
You get. Stay there, go chase that guy, come
not
back, stay
imposing.
with
It's
me.
not- you get.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not
He plays
That's a
with Van Dijk. He will look like
You're not-
Franco
you're not-
Baresi.
He doesn't even
You
play like the
understand,
guy
you
that's
understand.
been at Real Madrid at United. He's
I
just
think-
ordinary.
I think it's the same exact situation with Joao Matip at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Good defender, I love him a lot. He doesn't get talked about enough. But you take him out there and play him with Crystal Palace, absolute disaster.
Yeah.
You take him out. I say, oh, Matip, cheap, 8 million, please bring him to United. Flop, because he plays beside someone who, it's the same way one referee beside me. I tell you, look, don't say that thing. Don't do that. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. But that's what it is. You get.
When you are not mad.
Which is why. Which is
This guy is smoke premium crack.
Senegalese.
This one, that from Pablo Escobar days.
But the moment IBK talked about goal 4 and he was here, I said, go to that side. You cannot be team.
You cannot be here.
This
But
line.
what I think for United,
Oh
right?
my goodness.
But that's that.
But let's talk
a
about
good
United
one.
because
But just to finish up, Shay, and what's that guy on YouTube that says Yubi talks too much? Please, type your draft out. The truth is that I think that Varane is not a player that you buy to lead other players. He works well when the team is in full flow.
So
yeah,
I think you're going there, but I just have. So how is it that the
that's
guys
what
are
happens on
United?
this show. If you don't pick,
So how is it that the guys are united? And that's also part of why I have a bit of problem with Rangnick. I know that yes, there's a lot of problem before you came in, but the deal you signed was to the end of the season, and then you help in the hiring of a permanent manager. That means your job is to disrupt as much as possible before the new manager comes. You are not the guy that should come in and be playing safe. You are not going to be there in December anyway, at the end of the
why you
season
playing
anyway.
safe?
So why are you playing safe?
and guess what?
He gets away with it, that's why.
And guess what? When he decides not to play safe, he does it with the wrong player. He does it with Ronaldo.
Exactly.
You don't know.
And you buy into this
You
media
don't know.
nonsense.
You don't do that thing with Ronaldo. Cristiano is the guy that can drive the whole dressing room. Man United, the game we won, Ronaldo scored a hat-trick, right?
Tottenham.
I keep saying it. Ronaldo is a player who wants to know that his effort will not be wasted. Every time they got the ball, Ronaldo went to press. He's looking back, he's calling people, come. You get. I remember a Clasico, and it's funny because Clasico happens this weekend. I remember a Clasico where Ronaldo was pressing.
Yeah, Ronaldo does
He
that.
was-
He's
And he
done that.
turned back.
he didn't see
And
anybody.
the whole team
was agitated.
was in a no
Yeah.
block. And I was like, what
He's
the
People think about but the team is not built to
You get-
press.
What does
If
that mean?
We want to win.
What does-
that's why.
what does that mean?
That's what it means to have winners in the team. When the game gets to a point where whatever the manager said before we started the game, first wait. This game as he did here, because guess what? You know that thing that they say that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. When you get into the game, everything that you've told on the board, everything, when you enter game, when the match starts, you go, no, Simeone, you need to find your own way of solving this problem that you have now.
An ex-player said, I can't remember which ex-player, he said that when he was playing football in the 90s, that when a coach gets fired, that they used to feel very sad. They used to feel very bad, the team. Not all the players who didn't used
Of
to
course,
play regularly,
obviously.
but the core of the team used to feel very sad because they would sit down and say,
What are we? Yeah.
we've let him down. We've let the manager down. That usually, once the manager tells you, this is how we're going to play today, we listen. We get to the pitch, things change. So we don't talk to the manager. We talk to ourselves and say, this
This
how
is the
we're-
problem that we have
this
now.
is how
This
we're
is the
going
problem.
to do it.
This is how
and
we
we're going
solve
to
it.
fix it. So the game has changed. Players now think, I go into the pitch, if
You
it
don't have to
doesn't,
talk
if it
about,
doesn't
you don't have
work,
to talk about American football.
it's the manager's fault.
You don't have to talk about American football. Why the role of a quarterback is
All important.
All important. You know, they can call a game, the coach or whatever, you can call a game. But you see, once the game starts, there's a problem. The quarterback, maybe during the timeout or something, calls the entire team, tells them this is what we're doing. That guy that's running you go.
That guy is too fast. You can't receive on that guy.
Make sure this thing doesn't happen because this guy has been closing you down. We're not going to go here. We'll go here now. This is what everybody looks at the guy because the quarterback is the guy that leads the play of the team. They listen to him. They go. It happens. The coach is there. He takes the credit. Nobody. You understand? And Ronaldo has done it before. If you remember that game against Sporting Lisbon, they lost 2-0 in the first leg. The second leg, Ronaldo scored 3. And from the start of the game, he was running after everything. The ball goes to throwing. Ronaldo goes there, picks it up, he's throwing. That's the kind of energy he wants to bring into a game, and he's looking back and nobody's coming.
If you, I mean, I don't know if he was.
And the media saying this guy is the problem with the team.
That's how you know that the entire fabric of the club is gone.
I don't know if it was Napoleon who said it. I can't quite remember the quotes now. You know, if you're in battle, you know the idea of a general is almost false. Because what the general does is basically lead the troops. Mm-hmm. When you go to battle and you charge out, what gives you energy is the noise behind you. Mm-hmm. You get?
Yeah. Fact.
While going, everybody goes, you get? And you turn and you find a couple of people that are, you know.
Yes, because that's what gives you the idea that we're doing well.
Someone said in the dark, you know, when you're walking in the dark, you use the energy of the other person. You know, you are afraid, but use the energy of the other person. And the other person using your energy as well. So that person's not afraid, you're in the dark. You understand? But that's how it is. So if I turn and look up behind me, I don't see people working as hard as me. I'm thinking, but hold on a sec, I have a ranch that is 4,000 acres.
After losing that
I don't need to do this thing
after
I'm
losing
doing.
That City game, after losing that City game, the next training session, I saw this clearly, the next training session, Ronaldo was the first in for last out. And that's a 36-year-old guy.
It's tempo. He doesn't mean he needs to do it. He's just setting tempo for everybody.
And he didn't play the City game.
It's just tempo.
You get at 36. So when then outside this guy is a problem, and the club keeps quiet, and the players in the team keep quiet, like you know that there's something wrong.
How's a 36-year-old outworking you?
Here's what I think, right? As far as United are concerned, I believe that they have, for a very long time, gotten away with mediocrity.
Absolutely.
And it stems down from even the point where Ferguson left. I felt like they got a manager that the club was just too big for. Then subsequent managers just couldn't cut it. And I felt like the only manager that was going to...
single Mourinho out.
That's what I'm going to. That's why I want to try and do something here. There's something Ibrahimovic said. He said, from the outside, Manchester looks like a very big club.
Absolutely
like the biggest club in the world. But inside, it looks like the mentality is small.
Do you understand?
It's very telling.
And when he says that.
That is one of the clear... Look, my brother, you come back on this set.
Is that a fantastic debut with a hat trick? He's signing his deal tomorrow.
That's the 40 yard on this set. You know, when a player like Zlatan, who is the king of big game mentality, I don't even think Ronaldo has the mentality. You know, just that Ronaldo shows it. No, honestly.
Ibra is like the guy that's not faced by anything.
I shake my head. I'm not sure.
Listen.
No, you don't understand what it means. Ronaldo goes into the game, the big game, he scored lots of goals. But in terms of talking this thing,
you get and he backs it up.
You get Ronaldo doesn't really talk as much as Ibra.
And he backs it up.
Ibra comes and tells all of you.
I will kill you.
When Ibra made that comment, it was the most accurate thing because you know we can all sit down here and say what we want to say. We haven't been anywhere close to the manager's office before. Mm-hmm. When a guy like Ibra, who has built his career on the quality he brings on the pitch, but more on what he says off the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
More on what he says off the field, makes that comment. Say, when you go to a club giant, he's a monster. And it's the same thing Mourinho found.
Yeah, and that's why he struggled. Because
Mourinho said, you talk about, in his debut press conference, he said, this is a super club. Mm-hmm. Now, football clubs, and I love Chelsea, but they're not a super club. This is a super club.
I hated him for that.
I go there.
Oh, you're a Chelsea fan?
Yeah, and I realized that. I could smell it from him.
I thought it was Arsenal.
All over my jet.
You know,
Arsenal now played.
And Mourinho goes in there, and he's worried that I'm demanding that we do this.
It feels like he's demanding too much.
And he's joining from the stadium and he looks back at the club like, is that Manchester United?
Because
same thing with Zlatan.
Yes, see, under Ole, the players got away with being nice.
No, they got away with being absolute
being
shite.
mediocre, and then he doesn't do anything about it.
Liverpool
He doesn't seem
Pass
like he
them on
calls
the
them
back.
out.
He knows
And
the
then
club.
Rashford, all of a sudden, just because there's one small adversity, he feels like he's not wanted. He wants to leave.
You know Rashford
Like
for me.
he cannot deal with the
I'm
adversity
happy.
of small benching. How many benching?
I'm happy.
How many-
De
I'm
Bruyne at
happy.
chop bench.
I'm happy
He's
what's
not used
going
to
on.
it. He's not used to it. He's
Bernardo
used to
Silva at the
the
chop bench.
Do you think Rashford will start at City?
No, City.
Do you think Rashford will start at
too far
Liverpool?
now.
What is he doing on this?
Do you
City
think
team?
Rashford will start at Liverpool?
You see, a clear example.
Maybe captain at Arsenal.
He will start at Arsenal.
No, he can't be captain, but
You see,
we
he will
have
start
we
and
have
then he will
Pepe,
be
he will
found
start.
out and then he will chop bench again.
I hate to go back to the game from yesterday, but Brahim Diaz, not Brahim Diaz, what's his name? Lucas Diaz.
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz, the guy at Liverpool. Yesterday is his first lesson that to win titles, you need a bit more than a fancy and a look away pass. You get? I like the kid. I like his energy, his enthusiasm.
Like everybody now, a kid.
No,
I would be Luis Diaz. I like the
No, and Luis Diaz is 25 is a kid.
kid. You will be 85.
Aribo, Joe, ancient of days. Ancient of
That one enter. You get? I celebrate you. You get? But you see, and a lot of girls hate me for this thing. When I say I think he's a kid. The girls will not look
I can
with
see
me.
why they hate
The
you.
girls will not look with me. I'm only broke.
I'm a lady.
You're mad. And why do girls hate being referred to as younger sisters?
Why? Why you go say he's a kid?
You can't date them.
Ah,
So you
Omo,
can't-
that's an angle. But just
you
make
have,
sure
you
say your wife
have,
know
you have
them.
left the game, so
Be very mindful of some of the
Very
things you are
mindful of
saying.
what you
everything,
put out there.
everything you say now can be used against you. In the court of law, my brother. Should we go Koyi? Right. Well, no, that's that. I think on that note, we've left that.
All right, guys. I'm a man that needs no introduction on this show. It remains the Hindsight Podcast. When it comes to talking sport, when it comes to talking football all around the world, you get the best information from this particular podcast. You can always join us online, on YouTube, on IG, anywhere online. You can always join. Even on Clubhouse, we're there for you to dish you the best information when it comes to sport all around the world. Stay tuned always.